The California story has many chapters. It's a story of icons, of imagination, and challenging the status quo. A story you'll find at the Oakland Museum of California. The story of California, the story of you.
Good news in Oakland! Oh yeah, it feels great.
Good News in Oakland is cooking with Chef Nikki Shaw today at Faith Day in the Park, sponsored by Kaiser Permanente. Chef Nikki Shaw, welcome to Good News in Oakland. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, Nikki, it's a lot of information. People are getting a lot of, questions about the state of the African American community and the health situation. What is the good news that you can share relative to Faith Day in the Park today?
Well, right now, the African American community is in the midst of a crisis. 76% of African Americans are overweight or obese. We're also suffering from type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and all kinds of cancers. But here's the good news. All of this is preventable through our diet. We have to make changes in our diet. We have to make healthier choices. That means adding more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables into our diet every day. The recommended daily allowance is recommended 9 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables. 9. Now that sounds like a lot, but really that's the way we should eat anyway. We need to eliminate the processed foods. Anything that's canned or boxed is not good for us. We need to stick with the fresh meat, turkey, fish, or chicken only. Cut out the beef and pork and stick with the fresh produce. Go to farmers markets, go to your grocery store, but stick with those 2 things, fresh meat and fresh produce.
Now we're talking about fresh produce, and you, in your presentation today, talked about the benefits. Talk about the benefits you've seen as LA Laker wife of Brian Shaw and what changes you made to make it happen.
Well, to be completely honest, I've changed my lifestyle. Now, I'm a chef and I love to throw down and I can cook, but the way I was cooking wasn't necessarily a healthy choice for the way I was living. It wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my children. It tastes good, but there are certain things we can do, like changing our oil. For instance, if we use olive oil, that's a healthier choice than using shortening or Crisco or lard. And there's other things like using whole wheat pasta. And I said this here on purpose. If we change to whole wheat pasta and whole grain rice, using brown rice, eating whole grain breads instead of bleached white flour, we're doing a great service to our bodies. So there are small changes we can make, like for instance drinking more water also instead of the sugary drinks.
That's good news. And talk about the importance of people like Kaiser Permanente and sponsors like that who really are focusing on the family and how important it is for the family to be involved in nutrition.
Well, I just really like to take my hat off to Kaiser because they've put on this event. It's free to the public. They're doing screenings. They're offering food demonstrations. They're giving people free samples, and they're giving people knowledge because a lot of times people don't have the knowledge. They don't know the difference between real sugar, artificial sugar, and natural sweeteners. For instance, they think they're doing a good job when they're using equal or sweet and low artificial sweeteners when those have been linked to certain cancers. So it's like, get away from the artificial sweeteners. If you need sweetening, try a natural sweetener like agave nectar or honey or stevia, something like that.
That's good news, Nikki. And lastly, we're talking about our faces looking good and also our bodies looking good, but how can we look cute in the kitchen?
Well, I've designed this chef dress, and this is just me because I was tired of wearing the blocky white chef jacket that I had to work with in the kitchen. So I designed this dress just to kind of, add my own flavor to it and assorted colors just to, have a little variety in the kitchen. And today, since it's Kaiser Faith Day, I have on my tennis shoes because I want to promote not only cooking healthy, but getting out, getting some physical exercise, daily if you can. And that doesn't mean you have to pay $30 to join a gym every month. That means you can put on your tennis shoes and go right outside and walk around your block, but incorporate it into your life. This is all about having a healthy lifestyle and adjusting to add years to your life. So you're there for your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren.
Nikki, your good news. We really appreciate you being a part of the community at Faith Day in the Park and bringing really relevant information to deal with this disparity of health. That's good news. Thank you so much, Nikki, for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
The California story has many chapters. It's a story of icons, of imagination, and challenging the status quo. A story you'll find at the Oakland Museum of California. The story of California, the story of you.
Good news in Oakland! Oh yeah, it feels great.